Okay, it's time to get down to business. I am really working on the YouTube channel, getting out all the footage and editing it and whatnot. And so I thought I would get ahead of it on this baby number 2. I am 30 weeks pregnant, and it's pretty much time to start getting things going for me. So what that means is I need to first and foremost make some nesting decisions. We have a 1-year-old. They will be, just for reference, they'll be 18 months or 19 months when this baby is born. So we got pregnant when my son was 9 or 10 months old, when I was 9 or 10 months postpartum. So we have to make some nesting-like decisions in the next month. So we have 10 weeks left, roughly guesstimating 10 weeks left until this next baby's born. And we don't know the gender, by the way. And we need to figure out if we're going to stay in this space, what we're going to do. And so, yeah, I'm going to do a little vlog form just to document, pass the time. And yeah, let's get started. Is a folded, intentional color palette of towels. Not the most satisfying thing ever. I had to literally take a video of this against the green. What's crazy is that with my first pregnancy, I didn't really drink coffee. I couldn't drink coffee, so I replaced it with matcha. So I still had caffeine, but by the end of it, I just kind of weaned up myself off of it unintentionally. And then with this pregnancy, I had actually done like a 3-4 week caffeine like to wean off of it in a healthy way, because I had such a small baby and it was really messing me up hormonally, and I felt like I wasn't able to regulate. And then lo and behold, I ended up pregnant. So there's that. And then let me go around this girl. So then I get pregnant and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm freaking pregnant. I tried to do first trimester pregnancy with a 10-month-old for, I don't know, I think I tried it for like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. Definitely not in the first trimester. And then I just gave in and I was like, you know what? I'm for sure gonna need some caffeine to get by this pregnancy. And this pregnancy compared to the last one is just survival mode physically for me, because of having such a young baby. So I can see the window of difference. For example, I found and saw this girl online. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, and she got pregnant right away, like 2 months or 3 months postpartum with a 3-month baby. She had a pregnancy announcement, and her daughters are so close in age, and I admire that, of course, and wish that could have been me. But I think the biggest difference in that window is that you have a completely different stage of newborn that is so immobile and just kind of chilling there, like I remember taking my son to Dallas, flying to Dallas at 4 months old, and it's just way different than a complete newborn. It's way different than a baby that's wanting to sit up. It's way different than let alone, walking around. And I just realized that I have a pen in my pocket, and I was walking around Target and I probably looked like I was stealing it, but it's my Pilot pen, and I carry Pilot pens everywhere, so that's funny. Yeah, anyway, so I just admire the different stages of 2 under 2. Like, then there's, you know, the bigger gaps. Like, we didn't get pregnant until 10 months. Let's just call it 10 months. And so my first trimester was my poor baby turning 1 and hitting all these milestones. My son was walking at 11 months. So I had a fully mobile baby that is just ready to rip around and climb everything. And he was being raised like a certain way, you know, just freedom to explore. Messes were welcomed. There wasn't too much he couldn't do. We had a lot of yes spaces, if you know what I mean, in our house. So the first trimester was extremely difficult for that reason alone, is trying to keep up with my firstborn. So this pregnancy has just been more of a survival mode. All that to say, I do coffee all the way. I'm 30 weeks now, like I said in the beginning of this video, and coffee and caffeine have legged me all the way through this pregnancy. Otherwise, because the other factor I want to mention is my baby didn't sleep through the night until 3 weeks ago. How crazy is that? So I'm 7 months pregnant. My son did not sleep, which means I didn't sleep. Up until a certain point, I kind of started really putting it on my husband, because as a pregnant lady, who was still nursing, by the way, I would just clock out at night. I never took naps because I was alone with my baby in the daytime. So that's just, you know, that'll put a fright in you and a fear of the Lord. So I was just like, I'm so tired. I did a little bit of napping in my first trimester. For example, we have a back patio, so I would set up the space, like, you know, lock the door, lock the backyard gate, lock the gate into the house, lock the door into the house, close the garage, close off certain spaces, and I would just lay. I didn't have a belly then, and I would just lay on the floor and play with him and fall asleep. And sometimes I would time it. I would like clock out. I was so relaxed. And then it was like, boom, 15 minutes. Wake up. I was legit asleep for 15 minutes right now. And my son is just playing, you know, like his butt is kind of on me, or my hand was on his leg, and I was just sleeping, but we were still there. Obviously, I'm conscious and, you know, easily awoken by loud, subtle noises or anything like that. So anyway, that's the truth of how I napped. And in the first trimester, and the truth that I didn't nap or sleep this entire pregnancy until 3 weeks ago when my son started sleeping. And yeah, so I got all that to say. I got a coffee today because I haven't had one today. That's the only thing, is the coffee, because it strips the magnesium. If I drink it too early or first thing in the morning, it will make me nauseous. So I don't, and I get, you know, a little bit of acid reflux. I mean, the coffee is so acidic that it is really difficult. I really wish I could go without the coffee, but it's just that compromise game, you know. Like, I'm waiting for my husband. He's going to Costco with my baby, and then he's going to be home. I really need to do some dishes, do some laundry. Otherwise, we won't have food. And then my husband's got to work on a bike tonight. So it's like, I've got to have energy to put the baby down to sleep and do all that stuff. So I took a coffee, and to avoid a headache. So yeah, that's my little spiel on coffee. So next, I think I should show you what I got at Target and some of my ideas for nesting. So I already did these things, but I completely organized the kitchen, and I redid the pantry, reorganized it. based off of priority, based off of right now what is pressing and most grabbed from our pantry. My husband is having to make his own lunches for work, so trying to keep the fridge stocked with certain foods, the pantry stocked with certain foods. And oh, I gotta send him a Costco list right now, actually. So I absolutely needed pants that fit me, so I got a pair of pants because right now I only fit into Wyatt's pants. All right, moment of truth. This one's really soft and stretchy. Let's see if this fits. I got a large. It's just Target, you know, so it's like, oh. The hard part is finding something that fits, but also, oh my gosh, these are amazing. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I need 5 more of these. And the way the bottom looks, oh my gosh. They didn't have these. They didn't have these a couple months ago. Even a couple weeks ago. I feel like these are completely new. Oh my gosh. These are gonna be amazing. Oh, I have to sit down and tell you why these are so amazing. And, oh my gosh, these are so soft. I'm gonna wear these everywhere. Oh my god, they're so cute. They were $35. Did not want to make that purchase, but I am gonna show my husband these. He's gonna see how happy I am, and he's gonna see how cute I am, because look at this bottom. I'm gonna show you. They flare in all the right places. Okay, me just freaking out about 30 weeks in finding a pair of pants that are only gonna last me 10 weeks. This is my mindset with pregnancy, is it is so temporary, and everything is such a temporary compromise. You can do it. You can do it. You don't need this crazy fancy new wardrobe. So I really don't get hung up about this stuff, but when I'm really uncomfortable, I bought a few different things with my mother-in-law, and they were comfy enough. And when you don't have anything at all, you're like, these work, because your jeans, pregnancy jeans, they only really fit after a certain time. This shirt is so cute. It says mama. It's $18. Should I return it and put the money towards my pants? I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it because it says mama 3 times, and I have 2 babies, so I'm like almost there with the number of mamas. Am I in a good mood, or was it the coffee? I think it's the coffee. So other things I got. Dish soap, because we had a really bad flood this weekend. We had rain for 2 or 3 days, and we live by the ocean. So when the drains get backed up, everything gets backed up, everything's flooded. So our kitchen and dining, which is all tile, it was just completely flooded. So we had to get a plumber come and fix our sink, and I basically have 3 days worth of dishes. I got some help with some dishes, but I gotta really knock it out. My husband's going to Costco, so I like to have a cleaner kitchen to organize when I put food away. So I got dish soap, we were out, and a new sponge. And then I got nail clippers and a nail file. I was gonna do nail polish. That's what I did with my first pregnancy. It was part of like my rest time, is to do my nails once a week, and I would like sit with music, and I would just, you know, remove the nail polish, reshape my nail. We don't really go out. When I have the baby, I tend to stay home. But, you know, you don't know how you're going to be with this next baby. And I do have an older baby. So, you know, if I go out to the park or the beach or something, I just like to have that extra thing to cover. And then I have 2 of my favorite wraps. So I've got this one, this pattern, and it's just a knitted, I don't know what you call these, like it's not linen, it's tencel wrap, and I have a pink one just because it was cute, matched my outfit last time. I had a boy, but yeah, I just have these 2 designs, a pink one and this houndstooth, I think they call that. So, okay, so next thing we'll have to do is go through clothes and cloth diapers. So that was the biggest nesting thing that gave me the most, not anxiety, but I had like an urge, like I need to do this right away. And one Saturday I told my husband, it was this past Saturday, I said, we need to go to storage. I need to find out where things are. You know, that's just the nesting thing. It hit me, you know, like 30 weeks pregnant. Like I've got 5 weeks to go until I'm in my final month. And for me, that's like a baby zone, you know, like I've got 2 weeks to do stuff. And then after, you know, around the 36, 37 week mark, they could technically come at any point of that time. So I need to be ready is what I'm basically saying. And I wanted to give myself some leeway because when I exert my energy a lot, then I usually have to rest a lot. And we are in the 3rd trimester during the holidays. So, wow. I don't know what's funnier, what I'm about to say or the fact that I'm laughing with myself on camera. Found the super comfy spot. Okay. Our house got flooded. So we had some pretty gnarly rain. It got flooded crazier than last week. And now we are contemplating doing a huge move back to my in-laws, back to my husband's parents' house, which is where we lived and gave birth to our firstborn. And it is a heavenly, wonderful idea and just not where we thought we would be going. So we're super excited about that, but that means I have all that stuff to do. So funny to me because it's like not at all what I expected I would be doing right before birth, and I'm totally here for it. It's gonna be a good move, and I'm just in disbelief that we have that much of a roof leak, that our apartment flooded. The walls are fluffing and water was gushing through the walls. Like if you pressed it, it like spat out at the window seals. It was crazy. And even more gnarly that we're able to break our lease now because of something like that. So yeah, pretty crazy. That's the update. So we shall see. All right, a couple days have passed. I know that I usually put the date right here so you could follow along. It's just been crazy. My husband got chicken pox, and it was because I had shingles. I had a rash on the right side of my back, hugging the mid back section, and my whole family thought that it was spider bites, and we thought it was bed bugs that I spent the night at my grandparents, and it was like last minute, too late to drive home. My husband was already home, and it was just me and my son at my grandparents, so I would have to drive myself all the way down the freeway, and 2 freeways, 3 freeways actually. And I stayed the night. My grandparents slept in the living room, and they gave me their bed, and I thought I got like bed bugs or spiders or something. And the past 2 weeks I've been battling crazy headaches. I have been extra fatigued. I thought it was just because of my entering into my 3rd trimester. No, I had shingles, and which it wasn't that bad because obviously I've had chickenpox before, and I gave chickenpox to my husband, I'm pretty sure, and this was the first time he got chickenpox at age 29. Yep. And yeah, we've had a really long week. You know, time, emotions, and mental space are all your resources as a pregnant lady. So not being able to fix what I want in the kitchen, or, you know, running around with my son, and so then we just end up going to the In-N-Out drive-through because I didn't plan dinner, even though we have a fully stocked fridge. It's like, you know, you just gotta go with it. Eating is better than not eating, and it just all contributes to that imbalance. The diet and the load, just the load, because you're just trying to maintain stress levels. So yeah, I've found with this pregnancy, my food patterns have been literally the same, the exact same. Like 3 weeks ago, I just woke up and craved this green juice that I craved with my first pregnancy. So it's literally something that my dad used to make me in high school. I might have talked about this already on this vlog, but like as soon as I thought about it right now, I just started craving, and I had to just drink it. I don't know why this tastes so good. For the win. So it's just water, flaxseed, spinach, a lot of spinach, and grapes. And I drink one of these daily since about like 2 weeks ago. It's just so crazy. And then this is the other thing that I don't ever eat. I don't eat cereal. I'm not a cereal person. I am an avocado toast with a fried egg on sourdough bread that I made at home type of person, especially pregnant. I know that I'm gonna get there towards the end, but cereal, Honey Bunches of Oats, I ate this with my first pregnancy as well. And then I obviously have the bread going. Always got bread. So mind you, I'm 34 weeks, and this started at around when did that start? See, that's why I want to document, because it's a little confusing, the timeline, and you don't really realize what's going on. This is something I noticed too, is that I am unaware exactly, like precisely what's going on in my body, and it takes me a second to kind of come into awareness. I'm just feeling all the crampy contractions, like right there. And it just aches like a period. Like it just makes you want to bundle up, stay warm. And I also want to note that I got 2 massages last week, so during week 33, because I felt like my body was physically hitting a wall. And this, I'm not too familiar with this, but I do wonder how much of it is because I just gave birth and was not fully recovered physically. Like I was recovered from the birth, but my hormones hadn't come back in to alignment. I had built probably very minimal strength, very minimal muscle mass, and just my body wasn't at its peak recovery when we got pregnant. So I am wondering, last week I was really hitting a physical wall. So just walking around, I walked around Fashion Island to pick up Christmas presents, and oh my gosh, I was like severely waddling. Like, oh, this is another thing too, is at this point, it's been a couple weeks like this. I feel like just your third trimester in general, my third trimester in general, my body has a timer. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm super refreshed and I feel normal. Like my joints feel oily, they feel good. And then I can do the morning breakfast time, cleaning, chores, laundry as normal. Then around lunchtime, I hit a fatigue wall. And then around 4 to 5 p.m., like a little before dinner, I hit a wall every single day. And it's like, depending on what I've done that day, like we just packed up our house and moved. I thought I was gonna sneeze right there. Depending on what I've done that day, my feet will throb more, or my lower back, or joints, whatever. Like the wall, how hard I hit the wall is dependent on the activities I've done that day. But every day it's like that. Like I dread going to bed the days that I run my body into the ground. And it could be like, minuscule, minute activities. Like we've just been going all day, and, like church, if I'm in kids' church and doing a bunch of stuff, I go to bed dreading it. And yeah, that's a realistic thing that's happened my whole third trimester. We got a comment. This is Wyatt.
I'm activating.
He's activating his glutes and his thighs because he's about to do a workout. But we got a comment in the past 24 hours about an encouraging comment about Latina home births. But here's the non-Latino. Here's my husband, who is in the birth vlog.
I am Latino.
And delivered the baby. What?
I said I am Latino in here.
In heart, yeah. Here's our boxes that I still have to do. Anyway. This is the only comfy position. I struggled a lot my whole pregnancy with having a comfortable space to be in, to sit on. My bed was kind of really the only position that would work for me if I was sideways with a body pillow. So I'm further along and it still rings true. Whereas my first pregnancy, I was able to sit upright in certain places, but here we are. Okay, stay in here with Mama, okay? And then let's just open up. One sec, you guys. Let's just open up. These blinds. Mm-hmm. Where's your ocean book? Where's your ocean book? Let's find your ocean book. Because you have, what do you have? Tiburon and pescado. Let's see. Oh no. Where did the book with the whales go on it we had yesterday? Did Daddy put that away? Mama can't find it. But we have other ones, right? Here we go, doggo. Okay, you guys. Wanted to record this. I got a really bad, gnarly cough. So I think I mentioned this earlier, but we are officially moved back into our old place with my husband's parents, and loving being settled in, loving the location, loving everything. I think I mentioned this before as well, but we birthed in this exact room. My last vlog, if you guys are new here, you guys should all be new here because I just started posting consistently last month. We birthed right there. I'm still doing laundry and nesting, but there was a side table right there, and that's where it happened. And this is the bedroom that it all happened in. So it'll be exciting to get the same, not the same shot because the room is set up a little different, but do you want the ball? We'll see just exactly where we labor for this baby. So yeah, I wanted to record that I have major stomach pain. Again, nothing concerning because I still know my body. It's just sore and disrupted from all the violent coughing, and that's not fun, you know. So I did cry last night to my husband in the middle of the night. Like, I just feel so defeated because I've been sick back to back to back. Had shingles and a cold and a fever and then this and then that, and so it's just one of those things, I think, of getting pregnant so close together and my hormones not being balanced and my immune system and gut and microbiome health not being, you know, revamped fully and replenished fully. Reminder, he was 9 months when we got pregnant with this baby. So yeah, I was having a really tough time 2 nights ago. Like, I feel so defeated and sick, and I just have everybody praying for me to just like fully recover and feel strength, physical strength for when the baby actually comes, because I've been getting crazy contractions. So what? Should we get you a pacha? So yeah, just wanted to do that. And I had to kind of, this is what I wanted to show. I had to kind of put this up to kind of hold everything together. I know a lot of people have to do that in general, and I had to do that in general in my last pregnancy, but I just wanted to do it more now because the coughing was just really hurting my muscles, you know what I mean? Obviously my muscles are like this, but yeah.